My 17-year-old grandson, Dakota, is violent and out of control.
I'm not sitting down.
He has tried Xanax, alcohol, methadone, and OxyContin. He really is lost and in need of help.
Dakota's father was into drugs, and that contributed to his problems.
When Dakota was young, he had a lot of bad stuff that happened to him. He witnessed a lot of violence growing up. My son Jay was Dakota's dad. He raised Dakota till Dakota was 7. Then my son Jay took his life on May 29th, 2013. I kept my son's suicide note all these years. I had it in a frame at one point.
Catherine was devastated. She still is.
Everything with Dakota changed after that. When I got custody of him, he tried to hit me 3 different times.
After Dakota started living with us, he got in trouble at school.
Dakota basically dropped out of school in 9th grade. Dakota started acting out around 12 years old. That's when he started experimenting with drugs. Dakota overdosed 5 times. I tried to get Dakota clean by sending him to rehab. The last time he was kicked out for fighting.
I realized Dakota was selling drugs about 6 months ago.
He was buying and selling Xanax. I worry about him getting in trouble with the law.
He has broken into buildings and he destroyed the interior of a school.
Dakota has been arrested several times and was on 6 months probation. Dakota has anger issues. He'll ball up his fist and get tense all over. The argument can get ugly.
Stop it. No.
If he gets really mad, he'll punch holes in the wall and shout the word.
I'm not crazy, bro. You're acting crazy.
A few weeks ago, Dakota got very upset and took his anger out, smashing our vehicle.
I feel like I've done everything that I can. Nothing's worked. I'm afraid that Dakota may die just like his dad did.
The situation with my nephew, Dakota, is critical. The whole family has been trying to help, but we have failed big time. My mother's grief over my brother is a huge factor in how she parents Dakota. My mother thinks tough love killed my brother. I think it was the choices that he made. Dakota's behavior is due to his bad decisions. He does nothing but run the streets at night, sleeps all day. Dakota's given an allowance, and then he takes his allowance and buys drugs and then turns him a profit. Or he uses it to support his habit. Dakota's a wannabe gangbanger. I'm worried to death about him because he's not street smart and he's not tough enough. He might piss the wrong person off, and then that's gonna be the end of Dakota. I tried to let Dakota know that I was there for him. I had told Dakota that I wanted him to have the same opportunity that his cousins had, but he had to earn those rights. He needed to go to school and get off the drugs. I would figure out a way to get him on the right track. It was obvious to me that he had no interest in my offer. Dakota is killing not only himself, but my mother. She had congestive heart failure, and I know that was due to the stress that he's putting on her. I'm seeing the same behavior in Dakota that I saw in my brother. He's headed down the same exact road. Dakota is just ahead of schedule.
Well, Lee, let me start with you. When you say that he's headed down the same road, just ahead of schedule, you think he's self-destructive?
He is. No doubt he's self-destructive. My brother was later on when he was into this behavior. Dakota's just way ahead of the time.
And your brother took his own life?
My brother took his own life when that was 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I see the same thing.
And for both of y'all, I'm very sorry for your loss. That you did. I know it's tough tough on everybody. I mean, it's not an easy thing to endure. And you're parenting out of guilt at this point because you're afraid if you're hard on him, if you try to put boundaries around him, that he's going to do the same thing your son did and kill himself, and you blame yourself in part for your son killing himself.
Of course, yeah, I do.
You're saying, I'm letting him do whatever he wants to do. In fact, you pay him to do it. You give him $100 a week, you said.
I do. I know. See, I can stand back and I know all my actions have been wrong. But with him, it's like I started out with just love, 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 you know, let me make you happy. And there was no making him happy.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.